So, hi everyone, welcome to the website's call. Before we begin with the agenda items, let's hear from our newcomers. If we have anyone on the call who hasn't been to any of the website's call before, you can introduce yourself to the community and tell us what brings you here, what you work with, anything that you'd like. So, I see a couple of newcomers on the call. You can volunteer, otherwise, I will start taking names. So. Any newcomers on the call who wants to introduce themselves? Devesh, is this your first time here?
No, it's my second.
Okay. Who else? Love Push.
Yeah, I have attended twice. This is third time. Yeah.
So I wasn't there last week. Maybe that is why I missed all of you.
Yeah.
Who else?
Like,
Okay, I don't see any other newcomers. Sufyan, is this the first time on the website's call? Cool. Then we'll circle back if we have any other members.
मुझे नहीं मालूम नहीं
मालूम नहीं तुम्हें छोड़ा इसको ना मालूम नहीं
Talking to us or because there's a lot of background noise.
कहाँ छोड़ी इसको
Cool. So yeah, I've added the meeting minutes on chat. So if anyone's on the meeting, please add your names in the meeting minutes. I think most of you have added, but don't miss out on this. And if you have any agenda items to discuss today as well, you can add that in too. Cool. So let's begin with the agenda items today. Let's start with the service mesh pattern side. But before we look at the design, let's hear from updates from Kamal and Bhavya or anyone else who was looking at any other component. So Kamal, will you go first?
I will let go Bhavya first because I'm traveling. I will just take 5 minutes.
Okay. Bhavya is on the call, right?
Hello, everyone.
Do you want to share your screen?
See, actually, I already made a pull request. So can I share the pull request link in the document? Because my system is now dual boot. So I was working on the Linux, but there is some voice issue. They're attending meeting from Windows. So this is the issue. I am sharing the pull request. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Link. Yeah.
Are you sharing on chat? Like, are you sharing right now?
I already made a draft pull request. So I am just copied that link and will paste in the document. Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Hello.
This is right?
Yeah, it's in draft because like the design is not confirmed yet. So I only made the part of Lee where the description of Lee was mentioned and Nick description is still in the progress. Here is the PR link.
So we can't present it right now.
Are you able to see?
There's no way you can present your screen locally.
Then can you please give me 5 minutes? I can switch my. Is that possible?
Deopia, the site would build in 2 minutes or so because the repo is very small. We can circle back at later.
Okay. So meanwhile, let's Alexis, I think you mentioned on Slack that this will be the final review for the design. Is that what you meant?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all might be. I only did for the chapter side, and I had trouble completing the patterns in action side, and I would need help there. So I'm done with the chapter side, and I'm waiting review from there. So that's all I've got at the moment.
Which one is the final design?
The chapters up.
Here.
Yes.
This is not the current homepage, right? Do you want to share your screen? Am I looking at the right?
That's the one. That's the one. This one, yes.
This is the chapters. What about the homepage? You guys made changes to the homepage. This is not the one which we'll use, right?
Well, in the last meeting's call, we said we shouldn't stick to a single page, that we should stick to 4 pages. So he brought us back up here and said that the first one and the last one, which is the author's page, are ready for implementation. And then I was like, how about the fact that we reduce the text? So I feel like we didn't really go over that one well. So I actually don't know. But if it's to still come and reduce the text on this first page, that won't be a problem. But for now, it's just the chapters side that I've done, and I would need help in the patterns in action side.
So in the last call, Deopia, we finalized like the current homepage design that we have. We can go ahead with it and implement the other pages. If at all required, once all the things are implemented, we can change the homepage design.
Okay. Cool. So right now we have the banner ready. Kamal, was your navbar PR merged?
Not yet.
And who was looking at the about? You, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the about page, but as you said that we will not implement this about page, so I had put it on hold. And plus, I wanna say that if you could move somewhat at the bottom, little more down. Okay, so okay. So I was saying that what about this page about the main site landing page? If we remove the meter authors as it is moved at the new page, rest all I think it looks fine at the landing page.
I didn't get your question.
Like I was just saying that on this page which you are currently at, if we just remove the meter authors page and the chapters of the book section, as we are moving these two on the another pages, so rest all the page rest all the section on this page looks fine for the landing page,
Okay.
right?
But I think Nikhil said that on the last call, you guys decided that we'll just do this.
Okay, so we are implementing this. I have implemented this about for now.
Okay, so let's finish up your PR. Let's merge this for now, and so that we at
Sure.
least have an active site. And Bhavya is working on the about this about
Meet our
component.
authors.
This I don't think will have any other design changes, so you can complete your PR and remove it from draft whenever it's ready for review. I think Ishan was looking to volunteer for the site as well. He can take up the chapters page. Ishan, is he on the call?
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
Yeah, you wanted to contribute to this, right?
Right. It's right.
So you can take up the chapters of the book page so that at least we have a structure. And after that, any other design changes we can ask and like we can just look into it. It'll be much easier if we have all these pages ready. So and yeah, and Kamal, you can finish up the nav bar as soon as possible. And Rohit is looking at the footer, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
What about the patterns in action side?
Well, the design is not like we don't have the design
I've
ready
only
at
done,
the
I only
patterns and
did,
action.
I only did 2 out of the 4, which is the call to action and a kind of dummy
Let's
mock-up.
do one thing. Let's have all these sites published, and since patterns and action is not started yet, let's focus on the home page. Let's see how we can improve it while we have this PR merged. Once we finalize all these pages, let's circle back to patterns and action. Because if we start doing all of them together, we've been looking at this design from almost 2 months now. So there's no point discussing all again and again. Let's have the nav bar, footer, and everything up. We can circle back to this one, but let's have all the other pages completed, the pages that you've started with already. Is that
Okay.
fine?
Devpya, sorry for interrupting,
Okay.
but I think Kamal is already working on the chapter speech.
Come, you're working on the chapter page?
Like he has a
Yeah,
PR.
yesterday I have made a PR on it. It is a work in progress type. So if Ishant wants to work on it, he can obviously. And I have actually implemented most of the things. The only thing is left is like I wanted to make a reusable component for this bar, like all these green bars. So I wanted to make one component and we will pass on props to it so that we can just make it. Only that is left. So yeah.
Okay, so let me jump in a bit. Uh, who else has volunteered to contribute?
Ishan.
John, right? Okay.
Yeah, it is me. I mean,
Ishan.
except
Okay,
for
so
me, I
what
don't.
we can do is, since Bhavya has only implemented the part of the author section, you can take up the later part of it. Like
Sure. I didn't
she
get you.
has
Can you
already
repeat what part am I supposed to take up?
Oh,
like
Charlie, ele você
she
cherche.
has
Só que ele
implemented that.
acho que não.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, I think she has only implemented the first half of it, like up till the and so, like she is implementing up till like the author's part. The with technical review by and the bottom section is still left. So you can take up the second part of the design and implement that.
Okay, sure. No problem. I'll work on it.
Okay. And coming to the chapter speech, like the can you scroll up to it? The green bars that we have, if I'm not wrong, that should be a what do you say accordion, right, Alexis? Like on click of that green bar, it should expand, and clicking it on it again, it should collapse.
Yeah, it is accordion. You are right.
Cool. So, Kamal, to take that into consideration, I haven't checked the OPR, but if you are implementing it, but so to take that into consideration while making it.
Yes, I will.
Cool. I think once we have these 3 pages ready, so yeah, okay. And apart from that, Alexis, you mentioned that by today you will have the pattern space design ready. So do we have anything for it, or is it still work in progress?
Yeah, still a work in progress. We'll circle back to it.
Okay. Any idea, like any time frame by which it would be completed?
I would have to solicit the help of Divine to help contribute on it. But as of now, I don't have a time frame on when it will be completed.
Okay. Okay. Wishes. Over to you, Divya.
Also, everyone who's working on their respective components, make sure it's mobile responsive as well. I don't see any design for it, but just like you can take the liberty to design it yourself because it'll be the same, just like maybe the pictures will come on top, the text on bottom. Make sure it's mobile responsive. Like the only problem with the nav bar currently is that it's not responsive, right, Kamal? So That is one thing that you have to fix. And Rohit is not on the call, I think. So
Yeah,
I'll-
he said that he has some work, so he would not be present.
yeah. So where's the final design for the footer? This one. Alexis, where's the final design for the footer?
The is that the one that is on all of them now? The
This one itself.
yes, that should be it.
I thought you changed it to, yeah, something like
Oh.
this. No?
We did. That was down there, but we didn't get any approval
No, I think
or
this looks fine. It looks better than this one, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the bottom one looks better. We can go ahead with that.
Yeah, so I'll point so that at least by next week, let's have a fully functioning site, because then we can like point people to it. So we've already spent a lot of time on this. So once we have these components ready, we can keep like redesigning as in making smaller. So that'll be fine. And meanwhile, once Alexis, you have the homepage and everything completely ready, like completely, then we can look into the patterns and actions. But make sure all these components that I have assigned to people right now, like people have started working on, they are like completely ready to go. Right. And I'll just quickly write the assignments down here, because next we'll do a final review of the PRs itself, like the entire site, not just the design. So I hope we have everything completed by next week. Bhavya is doing the author section.
It's almost done, but I was waiting just for the final design, That's why it's in work in progress. But by today itself, it will be completed. So anything else that can I do?
Right now, for this site, I'm not sure. But let the other contributors complete their part of the assignment, then we'll have other sections open up. But I'm sure you'll find a lot of other areas in the other websites that we have to take up.
And one
Let's-
more question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Nikhil, as you said that, I guess you said that, Tibupriya, can you please go to Figma? Yeah. You said that Ishan will be doing that about layer 5 part, if I'm right. Yeah. This one part.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, okay. I just want to confirm this. Okay. Thank you.
He's doing from the technical reviewers part till here. You're doing up to this, if I'm not wrong.
Actually, okay.
Have you done the technical reviewers part already?
Yeah, it's not in PR yet, but because
If you've
after
done
PR, I
it,
made.
then he can take this up.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
you've done this.
Yeah.
Okay, then Ishant, you take the about this section after this.
Yeah,
Is
no
that
problem.
okay?
Yeah.
And we'll have other areas open up real soon, because the design is still not complete
Yeah.
yet. But for now, Ishant, let's have you take only the about layer 5 section. And Bhavya, let's have this completed by next week at max. Like on websites called next week, we should have it ready. So you have this entire
Sure.
week. Okay. So he's doing about layer 5. Kamal, you'll complete the nav bar. Rohit will complete the footer. And what else? Okay, Kamal is also doing the about section. So let's have all of these completed. And I think Kamal is also doing.
No, actually, you can remove that about section as it is already complete. About section on the
But
landing
PR
page.
was there, right?
PR isn't merged, but I think I have replied to all the feedbacks, and yeah, you can. I'm waiting for more feedbacks on it, but it is almost done.
Cool. Okay. So anything
And
else?
yeah, one
Yeah.
more thing you can add. Because I guess for technical review, I need to create another issue because it will be good. That's why I didn't do in this PR itself. Like after the about section.
PR itself. It's not a problem. If you have it ready, you can put it to this PR itself.
Okay.
And I hope, like the technical reviews part, these are supposed to be images of people.
Yeah, but I just added
Yeah,
like
you
whatever.
dummy, you can use Lee's image for now. When he gives us other images, we can just add them in. But make sure that this is like dynamic, it's not hard coded. Like I don't think we have just 3 reviewers. Like make sure this is a component, like the social links, it should be a collection on its own.
Okay.
We have Matt's name already there. So do one thing, add Matt's image as the only technical reviewer as of now and skip the other two. If needed later on, we can add the other two reviewers as well.
Okay. Anything else? And Alexis, you will keep on working on the, like, let's shift. If the other chapters and everything is ready, then you can focus on patterns and action. You can see whatever resources we have in the docs and everything to get idea of what should be in there. And if you want, I think the homepage is the one which needs the most work right now, according to me. The about page is good to go. The chapters is also okay. And chapters, like Nikhil pointed out, this has to be an accordion. So whoever's doing, I think Kamal, keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
Devendra, can you open the preview link which I shared on the chat? If you scroll down a bit. Okay, so it's coming fine for you. Interesting. But for me, it is not coming as it's coming for you. Like there is a white space on the right side. It's not
There's a
full
lot of
width.
white space in between. So
That's there, but on the right side of the screen also, like it's not full width. There are issues with that. So I think it's working fine for you.
you're on
Interesting.
Chrome or Safari or like some other browser.
Sorry?
Are you using Chrome or any other browser?
No, I'm using Brave. I think it's because of the resolution, like probably. Yeah. It's probably because this section is not full width. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's happening on.
It's not
Yeah,
full width. Okay.
it's happening on my screen.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Kamal, do take that into consideration and also consider the page is responsive.
The
And
banner
remove
is
the section behind it, which says coming soon. Like we don't need that coming soon section anymore once about section is simply completed.
Kamal, was that clear?
Yeah, like centering it and removing the space that we have.
Not exactly centering, it should be full width. Like it shouldn't just be a section of the screen.
Yeah.
Just span across the entire. Okay. Anything else that you guys have to talk about for the service mesh pattern side? So I hope the assignments are clear to everyone. Okay, I'm taking that as a yes.
Yes.
Good. Let's move on to layer5.io. Let's start with Kanika's design first. I just added these in as fillers. So Kanika,
Yes.
do you want to share the screen?
Yeah.
So let me just share my screen. So this is for the MeshMark. This is the UX design. It was there on the previous week also, but it was not in the same Figma file, the correct Figma file. So this is kind of the UX design. Here there will be yes. So here there will be a demo video for MeshMark, and then the same footer, and then a button right here just for, this is the summary page for MeshMark. So the user will be clicking on that button and it will be redirected to the main MeshMark page that will have all the important information about it. And this is just the summary page. So I have done it I'm just waiting for more reviews so that if it's fine, that I can also implement it.
We have 2 pages for MeshMark. Question mark.
Yes.
Do we have 2 pages for MeshMark?
2
Why?
pages for MeshMark.
Like you just said that on this page, they click on it and they are redirected to another page, something like that.
Yes. So if I show you this, so can you see the GitHub page? I just switched my tab. Is it visible?
Yeah.
So this is the summary page to incorporate MeshMark. And then there is another page, which is this one. This is the main page for MeshMark. When we click on that view button, it will be redirected to this one. And now, currently, I had to implement a summary page for it. This will only contain the summary part of MeshMark, just a slight information. So this is the whole case.
Okay, so from what I understand is the issue was about creating a section for MeshMark on the existing SMP page, right?
Yes.
So
this is the SMP page. This was the previous one.
Previous one as in
But
we want MeshMark to be a section over here. We don't want to change the page content.
But actually, I've been doing it for the past week, and I also communicated with Lee about this. We had a conversation is this page okay? And then he replied, okay, now this is fine now and stuff. Okay, he didn't told me to have a different section on that specific page. So I hope I'm doing right.
Okay, so what you can do is just take the portion of the design that you have from the MeshMark heading up till the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Before the view MeshMark button.
Okay.
And just add that section to the existing SMP page on the FIC.
Okay, fine. We will just do that. Okay, fine.
Do you have anything else to add to it?
Yeah, no, I was just making sure that this is you're working on a section to go inside that page. So once you do that, like Nikhil suggested, we'll be good to go. I think there was some misunderstanding, but this has to be on the existing SMP page, not like a replacement for it.
Okay. After I do it, is this a design? Is this the arrangement of the components? Is it fine? So that I will just I will just close this issue. The UX design would be closed.
I'm just not sure if the font that you're using is the same as the font that we use on our. Is it the same font?
I have been using this font. This was already written here, like in the Figma file. This font was already there, so I just copied the same one.
Yeah,
But I can check if
fine, but it just looks a little, but that's okay. And it just looks a little different to me, like the heading, but it, like, I might be mistaken. But yeah, otherwise we just need a simple section for mesh marks. So I think this is okay. What does, like, any other feedback, suggestions? Anyone else on the call? Like, all of you are most welcome to comment on this. Okay, so yeah, once you add that in, we can, I think, move forward with it. Once you add it in
Yes,
the
sir.
existing site, like on the design for SMP page, I think it'll be much clearer how it looks on the page. And then if you think that it needs a little bit of like more modification, you can do that. And if it's like completely ready for review, you can just ping on the website's channel and we'll like take a look.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, once you shift it to the SMP page, we'll get an idea of how it looks as a whole, like how the page looks as a whole. So I think it'll be fine. Any other suggestions or feedback for Kanika? Okay, so I added this to the meeting minutes last week. I'm not sure if you guys discussed it or not. Wait, what's wrong with this? Okay. Okay, so this subscribe thing is, did we discuss this last call? I'm not sure.
No, we went over time, so it was kept.
So this, like, it's coming really close to the footer right now because the tag list is becoming huge. So I was thinking we can have like a open all tags or some collapsible over here. I'm not sure what, because we already have a collapsible over here to cover the entire thing. But the idea was on the home page, we want at least on the home, like right now, if I go to any other category page, it's closed by default. But when we land at the home page, we keep this open. So maybe we can add like a secondary collapsible sort of thing, or a load more tags sort of a thing over here. I couldn't find a good looking example. So that is why I want to discuss this. If anyone has any better suggestions, then you can bring it up over here. Because this list will just go on being longer and longer. So we cannot, like, I think on the homepage, we should still have them show, like at least on the landing page, we should have this open, not closed by default. So what do you guys think?
What we can do is, instead of having a read more button, we can like define a fixed height and implement a scroll bar for it.
Scroll bar.
Like we can limit the height for both the sections, the categories as well as the tags. And the user can scroll and select the tag whichever he or she wants to. Because even if you add a suppose read more button or like load more button, for example, to load more tags, there isn't like the page will still expand, right? You still need more space to show the other tags as well. If not, maybe probably a month or so later on. So that wouldn't work for a longer time. So having a scroll bar would be the best option, but yeah, more ideas are welcome.
I like this scroll idea. Any other suggestions? Anyone else? Or are you all okay with the scroll feature?
Scroll sounds good.
Okay. So I'll open up an issue for this. And okay, cool. Another thing, I don't think Aditya is on the call, but did we find a solution for the interactive labs problem that we are facing? Is anyone aware?
Gaurav
Yeah,
also.
I think we have not found it for now. And also, I would like to share that I tried using Killer Coda for Meshery. Like I followed all the steps like installing, but there was an error coming out and I was not able to proceed with it on Killer Coda.
Okay. I think we had a list of other platforms. Yeah, so I think Aditya mentioned these, so if you can try these out as well. No one else has any ideas, right? I'm not sure who was looking into this. I know Aditya was, but did anyone else volunteer to look into this?
No, I don't think so. Like, he was only looking, but there wasn't any major update also around that. So yeah, the only thing that we planned like for the timing we could have is like point the user to like show a model. I think we can show a model on the page to the user that the labs are not working. Navigate to the learning paths, or like you can just go through the steps and implement the code on your local system. Either of them, because for what like as of now we are seeing that a lot of users are coming back with the same query that the service mesh lab is not working or the Meshery provider is not showing up in the lab. So having this a model telling the use case would be a better option until we have a labs working.
Yeah. So let's move on. Ishant, yeah, we have your topic up next. Do you want to share your screen?
Can I actually do it later because there's some kind of we have this festival season going on here, so you can't hear anything if I speak. So there's some kind of procession going on the road. So if it ends, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll do it in the development call.
Okay.
Can you hear me? In fact, because I don't think because of the.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you actually.
It'll take 2 minutes. Fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure who added this agenda item, so whoever wants to discuss this, you can start speaking. If I'm
Ashutosh, was it
Hello, can you
you?
guys hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah. So then I'll share my screen, and if it's all right with the audio.
okay, you're sure. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just looking
Yeah.
for Ash.
No. Mm,
Waiting.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. How do we move the zoom bar on the top? I mean, I can't access my tabs.
Just drag
Is there
it, but
any way?
click on it and drag
Acha,
it.
we can? Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks. So this is the PR. So I'll just give a background on the issue. So currently on the Meshery side in the catalog pages, we have lorem ipsum filled in some of the Wasm filters, and that is why I made this here, which is. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So this is the PR, and I just need some information on what to fill. I have made some commits, but there are still some pages remaining. Like I'll show you the deployment. So here, this we still have some pages like this here, and also these pages. I think Antoinette was going to help me about the content which is supposed to be going there. I also needed some help from you guys whether what to put in, what to not.
Your voice is very low.
I think that is mainly because of the thing going on the road.
Yeah,
If
I
you
got
guys
it.
can't hear me, I'll do it later.
So, like to summarize, you need content for this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think our docs currently have content for like Wasm filters, like individual ones. So,
No, yeah, go
yeah.
on.
No, you're saying something. Go ahead.
So Aditya, not Aditya actually, Subedi, is it Aditya?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gave me a link to a site which actually had some information, so I filled it in. So all of this information comes from that site, and I think Antoinette offered to help me out on this, but I don't think she actually told me that she'll give the update on the pull request itself, but I don't think there's been any update from her side. So I still need to fill this part and
Mm.
some of the and also some of the patterns uh, are also missing with the information, like this one.
Mm. Okay, so if she is not replying to you, I think she's moved
No, no,
on.
no, no. She was going to update it on the PR itself, but she hasn't till now.
Do you want to take this up if she doesn't come around?
No, no, no. I already am working on this issue. I already have a pull request. I mean,
So
and I need information in order to complete it. Sorry.
Kamal, you were saying something?
yeah, I wanted to say something. Like the one person who was working on this Wasm filters before you, like he had also asked the same question that how we will fill the information, and then I think Lee had pointed him that start using these filters, and then you can make sense how these filters work, and then fill, or from the site. I think Subedi, the site he pointed doesn't have all the contents. So I think the only way to do this is to actually use these filters.
Yeah,
Wasm
some
filters.
of the filters, like the TCP packet mask, I filled it by using it, but others I'm not sure actually. TCP metrics and TCP packet mask, I think was the one which I tried filling on my own, but others I'm not sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this question once again because I'm a little confused. We are not clear as to what content to put in, right? That is what your question is.
Yeah, right. And I need help on what to fill in there. I have filled some of the cards, but some of them are still remaining.
Okay, so let's do one thing. I'll bring this up on the website channel. And I think since Aditya has been helping you out, I'm sure he'll have other resources. If not, I'll try to find them. And if someone else, I think a lot of people have worked on the catalog. Aditya Chatterjee has worked on it. Even Rohit was working on it. So if we talk about this in the public channel, I'm sure someone will point you to the resources. And if you want someone to take up half of the work, like you'll do some cards and someone will do some other cards, we'll also get volunteers if you do that. So I'll bring this
Sure.
up when I share the recap of the meeting minutes. And even after that, if you still find that you are not getting the content that you want, keep pestering us. It's fine. Just keep texting on the channel till someone like if you've
Sure.
exhausted all options and all your resources and you still can't find them,
Okay.
then we'll help you out. But if it's there somewhere in the resources that have been shared with you already, then please try to like
Okay.
use them, because I'm not sure
Sure.
which doc you're referring to, but I'm sure Aditya will have something.
Should I show it to you?
Yeah, you can add it to the meeting minutes as well. If like, yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll see this. It
So
was
you
this
want
one.
basically wait, I'll just 1 second.
I'll share this link in the chat also if it's fine.
So you need volunteers and you need content. Cool. Anything else, Sushant?
No, that's it.
You shared the link in chat, right?
Yeah, this is the one which Aditya had gave me in order to fill some information in those cards. And I filled whatever I could find in the on this site especially.
Did you share the right link? Because I'm getting directed to the website's page meeting minutes itself.
Oh God. Just a minute. Yeah, this one. So sorry.
Cool. Then I'm sure there'll be other resources and we'll point them to you. Wasm filters. This doesn't have all of them, right?
No, it doesn't. And also it doesn't have the some of the filter I'm so sorry, pattern cards. Service mesh pattern cards. Debugging
Yeah.
the data plane and those
Okay.
ones.
Cool. Then I'll take this note and please keep track of the thread, and I think you'll find content. For patterns, okay. I'm not sure where exactly to point you right now, but I'll bring this up to help you. Okay. Moving on. This topic need more contribution doc, more precise. It takes a lot to read many docs from many places. Most of the guidelines and one would make it better. Okay, so I'm not sure if the person who wants to discuss this is on the call, but one thing is that we did, like for this very purpose, we did start an initiative to have the community handbook published here. Now I know that a lot of resources and a lot of information is still missing from the handbook, especially if you go to the contribution part. It's just talks about signing off for now. It doesn't talk about how to contribute to the various projects. So if you guys are facing the same issue that you think that you have to look into too many different places, this handbook is like, it's always up for improvement. If any of you have figured out where exactly to look for all the instructions, we can add them in here. Like all you need to do is raise a PR or just make a draft in Google Docs, or maybe someone else can look into it. So yeah, I don't think I don't remember who pointed this out, but we can improve and we should improve. Like the contributing instructions are not complete as of now. Community, like this will need a lot of improvements. Even the community roles, there's a mixture of the community roles in between these two sections, community and community roles. yeah, so these are part of the community ladder that we follow, GitHub orgs and then community member profile. And after that, we have managers and maintainers. So this will need some revision of content. And if any one of you want to volunteer for this, to write it up and to refine it even further, it's always open for any contributor to take up. Okay, any questions? Anything like I think none of you added, like I'm not sure if any of you wanted to discuss this. But does that make sense? Any volunteers, or if you guys feel the same way, do you want to take this up? How many of you have gone through the handbook and found it useful?
Me.
You found it
I've
useful, or
gone.
it needs more content?
Yeah, I have found it pretty useful. Handbook, it has like all the links to various places all at one place. So yeah, I have found it pretty useful. And I think the person who has written this suggestion is Ashutosh. He has newly joined the community. So I think he's not here, but
Okay.
I would disagree because the handbook, especially the contribution section, I don't think it's that helpful because it misses out on a lot of things such as the Ruby version manager and stuff like that, and some detailed information about how to contribute and how to exactly make a post pull request. So when I was new here, I had gone through the handbook, and the only thing which helped me was really helped me was the README and the contributing.md. So yeah,
I would
that is my
also
opinion
agree
on
to
the
that.
handbook.
I think the documentation doc is like really helpful. I have not like really done with the handbook, but I think it has all the information. The contribution doc.
Okay, so maybe one thing we can do is point people to the contribution doc. Like, I don't think we do that either. So yeah, like I agree that we have to revise the content of the handbook. It's not, it doesn't have everything, but if any of you want to volunteer, you can do that. Yeah, Nikhil.
Sorry to interrupt. If you go to the project section under the handbook ones,
Yeah, it's not good.
okay, and what does those links point to? The sites or the repo?
The site.
Okay. So where are we pointing to the GitHub repos anywhere?
The repository overview.
Okay. So technically, if we see like the contribution section that we have in the handbook, that shouldn't be having all the details relevant to different sites. It is a generic idea how the contribution flow should be, like how you should make a PR, the commit sign off, and you should always fork a repository before making a PR for it. And considering the RVM issue that Ishan mentioned, that is only limited to the Jekyll side, that is for Meshery docs and SMP. Like only those two sites use Ruby Jekyll as of now. So, and the contribution guides for those mentions them, I think. If not, then those contribution guides should have those details, not the handbook itself. That's why we have the repository overview with the repo link attached to each other, like have in the same loop, so that the people, the users can go to the respective repository and take a look at the contribution guide.
Yeah, so the repository overview is actually like it's pretty up to date. All these links are working. I just saw one bug in one of the images over here. But yeah, that makes sense because we cannot write all the issues. What we can do is if it's a very frequently occurring issue for everyone, we can have it under the FAQ section that we have. If it's something that everyone's facing, something like that. But other than that, the contribution, it should guide you to where to look for the various things, but we cannot write, the entire process. We can guide people to the contributing MD, but we do that over here. So yeah, that is what I was talking about. We need to revise this content, but we cannot add the entire contributing MD to the handbook as well. So yeah. Cool. Any other suggestions, feedback, questions, anything? Another thing that we can do is maybe in the it's right next to it, but maybe we can just add a call out sort of a thing that for individual instructions of how to contribute to various repositories. Look at the repository overview so that no one misses it out. But it's right here, but we can just add a small call out if that helps. I'm not sure.
Before we wrap up, I think Alexis mentioned that he found a bug on the site. So, Alexis, can you please let us know what's it?
Oh, okay, the small bug. Can I share my screen?
Yep.
Share. Please, can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this and this is the same thing. So I just wanted to point out if it should still remain the same, because they basically do the same thing. They are appearing twice. That's it.
Okay. Probably we can remove the other filter, like the other sorting data.
Yeah. We can remove the other one, right?
I think so. Yeah, it should be possible.
Alexis, will you open an issue for this?
I do not know how to open issues.
I will help you.
Please, I would like to learn so that next time I'll open when I spot them.
Yeah. Right. So we're on time. Yeah, we can take these issues up on the next call. And so action items on my end is I'll try to get Ishan content and volunteers for the catalog page. And we do want to see the service mesh patterns site, like at least these components ready by next week. Next week is the deadline. Like we want them ready this week.
Okay,
So,
before you close, hey, may I interrupt?
yeah.
I was saying that Lava Kush, if I'm pronouncing right, so he just volunteered that he would make the navbar responsive. So maybe on the navbar you could mention his name. I hope that's fine, Lava Kush.
Actually, yeah, I wanted to say something. So actually, I was working on the catalog part in the contribution docs. Like I have to add a page for the catalog. So I'm actually working on it. So I think I can too volunteer for that, for the work that Ishan is doing, like for the Wasm filters. So because like if the filters would not be completed, that then how could I like go for making a page for the in the documentation, if that makes sense.
Kanika volunteered, right?
Yeah.
The
Anything
main
else?
issue, I think, is in the Wasm filters. I think the lack of content, because the rest it's just copy paste. I think in the uh, caveats in consideration and also the info. But only thing we're lacking on right now is the content. If I get the content, I'll finish the PR in under a day, and I'll also keep searching for the content
Okay.
at the same time.
Yeah, but these are pretty generic filters and patterns. So I think it'll not be that difficult to get the content, but I'll still bring this up so that you get whatever you want. Cool then. If we don't have any other questions, I think we can end the call today. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll send a note about the action items on Slack so that everyone can put reminders, whatever you want to keep reminding yourself. Okay, thank you for joining. See you all next week.
Thank you, Divya. See you everyone. Bye.